Hello everybody, how y'all doing? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to my video journal. Yeah, I feel like I should be kind of reiterating that every once in a while. This is a video journal, okay? It's associated with my blog, Blissful Lifestyle Changes Studio, .wordpress.com. I refuse to pay for a domain name and so forth, especially if it's just a blog. I'll save my money for other endeavors that I have in store. So, anyway, welcome either way. I basically just go up here, talk about things in my life, and hopefully in the process it may help somebody else, maybe provide inspiration, maybe some sort of advice or whatever, whatever. Take it as you feel, or maybe just strictly entertainment, a way to unplug, you know. We can all use that every once in a while. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, definitely feeling a lot better today. I know that dust storm that we had blow through the other night, basically the night of my birthday. Yeah, that really flared me up, something fierce. I'm still kind of achy, sore, definitely, because I did double dosage of excuse me, of an inhaler, and it's a steroid, so things are kind of stiff and tense and so forth. It's going to take a little bit to work that out of my system. But I did get to work last night. I know I did two videos yesterday. In case you didn't notice, there's the one that where I was talking about, what I was going through at that moment yesterday morning, and then a little bit later, yeah, I was feeling better, but yeah, really feeling like garbage. Exactly like I said in that video. After I got done and got my shower, I think I don't. I think I, yeah, I think I had to get my shower yet, um, or I did it after. I don't remember. But anyway, either way, before I went out, I'm like, I have got to lay down for a while and just rest, relax, and so forth. Yeah, I'll be getting a late start, which means I'll be working late and so forth. And I won't be making as much money as what I really wanted to, what I need to, but or want to. But it's like, no, I have got to lay down for a little bit. I've got to take care of myself because I was really feeling like shit. Terrible. Glad I did it. Um, and Possum and I, we just kind of cuddled up together and everything. I think um, yeah, did one of those little cat naps where I think I napped for about maybe an hour or something like that. I was finally able to get that in and felt better. Still not all that great or anything, but I felt better. And I kept getting these requests, pickup requests at this one Walmart. And it was like, unfortunately, the first round, they were all canceled. I was not happy. So I'm like, well, let me run in, use the bathroom a minute, and I can see about getting some of those fruit snacks that had a bad craving for them. I'm like, okay, I must be craving vitamin C. And it's these one fruits. It's basically the Great Value brand. I've been buying them for years. I loved it when they used to come in the big pouches, and you could just grab those and have them with you. But now they discontinued that years ago, um, and now you have to deal with the small ones. And I had stopped off at one Walmart initially. Oh, the one that was over there by my gas station that I usually do. Yeah, little miss decided to come up and visit. You want to say hi? Hey. Oh, there's her butt. Oh, there she is. Say hi. She's like, what, Mom? Excuse me. But anyway, but unfortunately, they only had a big box, and I didn't want a big box. I just wanted a small box that I could just throw in my satchel that I bring with some snackies and my financial calendar, all that sort of stuff. But that Walmart, they had the small box, so it's just 10 pouches, and I was just like, perfect. And I had my Chex Mix with me. So I took some insulin, and my sugars were definitely running high. They're still running a little high, but I'll get those straightened around too. And unfortunately, I don't know how quickly I'm going to be able to do that because we got another storm system coming in for this weekend. It's supposed to really drop temperatures. I do have to do laundry here in the next couple of days. I might break out my turtlenecks. That's how chilly it's supposed to possibly be getting. So we'll see. But all in all, it was a good thing I did stop off at that Walmart out there, kept things going with the app and so forth, because I got another request, which wound up being a really good delivery request. I was a little worried that it was going to wind up being um, canceled in the end, but nope, it wasn't. And yeah, that was a good delivery. And then I got another one and took care of that. And then next thing I knew it, I was up in North Town again. I'm just like, what in the world? And but I just wrote it out. And there at the end last night, I was starting to get some really cheap requests. I don't mind getting them if they're associated with. Uh, I still mind getting them, but it's the sting isn't as bad if they're mixed in with other, basically doing multiple requests within the same ride, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And it's like, okay, so it's, yeah, like I said, it's not as, uh, it doesn't sting as bad, basically. But when you're getting them where it's just the one, it's like, yeah, no. And there, at one point, I had gotten one of those, and I was wrapping up a multi-order ride request, and I was just, and it was at a place that I don't really care to pick up from them. They're usually snippy, and it doesn't matter what the location is. They're usually snippy, and so forth. I mean, basically, they want you to do their whole entire job. I mean, practically even go back there and cook the food for the people. It's like, seriously, no, I'm not doing it. And then on top of it, most of the customers, they're not tippers, and they're cheap rides and so forth. Like in this circumstance, my take was going to be $2, and I was already on another. I'm like, no. I went ahead and canceled it, and I got another one in the meantime. But by the time I got done with that ride, it was well after the restaurant was going to be closing anyway. So yeah, I would have wasted all that time, all that expense with gas, wear and tear on my car, and so forth, going over there, and they would have been closed, and most likely probably wouldn't have filled the order. So it was one of those situations where somebody's trying to get in an order just before they close, and thinking that it's going to get filled. And most of the time it doesn't, because even the restaurant won't even fill the order. So please don't do that, people. Even with the, oh, she's being so cute. Here, hold on. Look at her. She being a cutie. So even with grocery store runs, yeah, and all it does is add stress onto us, stress onto the employees, because you all might know where these items are, and but we don't. And a lot of times with those grocery store requests, it'll have the wrong aisle. It'll indicate the wrong aisle. Look at her. I know. She's being a silly girl. Yeah. She's showing off now. Yeah. Go tickle your tummy. Tickle your tummy. Tickle your tummy. Tickle your tummy. Tickling her tummy. Her one ear's going back. She does like, Mommy, don't tickle my tummy. Get your foot. I know, she just does her mommy. I know. Oh my goodness, I know, she's a silly. But anyway, so yeah, there at the end, I started getting some of those sorts of requests, and I'm just like, no. Even though they were a drive through or whatever, but $2, $3 runs, and I'm having to drive clear across. It's taking me a good 15 minutes to get over there. Would you work for 15 minutes for $2, $3? Seriously, would you do that? No, you wouldn't. So why expect, I don't want to say you all because not everybody does it, but why would you expect a delivery driver to do the same thing? Well, it's that's your job. Well, some of us have to do things that we don't want to be doing because of circumstances that we're in, and that's the situation that I'm in right now. I have two bachelor's degrees, but I can't work either of them because of the health situations that I have been fighting, especially here over the last couple of years. So I'm kind of stuck, with doing this right now. And I don't even know if I'll ever be able to like work in an enclosed environment, whatever, especially with what has happened here recently with asthma attacks. And it's because of allergens. And not just environmental, because of Mother Nature, but also because of aromas that are put into things like shampoos and conditioners and laundry detergents and fabric softeners, and then people wearing colognes. And just like I had stopped off to pick up a delivery request. I had to go inside. It was overnight, and somebody's sitting there in the seating area vaping. That irritates. That inflames. So it's like just because you can sit back and say, "Oh, we'll get a better paying job." What else am I supposed to do? Okay, what else? I mean, even a lot of food aromas will irritate, but at least with this situation, I can open up my windows if it's and get some air in. So you tell me. Right, trying to work with other people, with and everything. And I'm not trying to blame anybody or anything. I'm just as guilty. I have worn perfumes and used certain laundry detergents and so forth in the past without taking other people into consideration either. But now I'm in the situation, and so I feel that it's also my job to educate. So, but anywho, fortunately, at the very end, I got in a really good request. Yeah, I still had to be driving all over Tarnation in order to drop off these orders because they weren't like one around the corner from the other or anything or up the road or something like that. It was like, okay, I had one, I picked up this is like I picked up here, then I had to drive all the way over here, a good 10-15 minutes away to drop off the first one. Then I had to drive a good 15-20 minutes away to drop off another one. So all in all, I probably spent about an hour on that ride, 45 minutes to an hour on that delivery request, and got paid $12. So I worked for an hour for $12. Okay, I realize that I don't even know what federal minimum wage is, but with here in state of Nevada, I think that's minimum wage right now. So, and cost of living here has skyrocketed. But this is what I'm talking about with what's going on. I realize we're all struggling and so forth. But if you can, the way I look at it is, if you can afford to pay for all those fees and so on and so forth, you can afford to shell out a buck or something, okay, for a tip. I just recently, yeah, I'm struggling financially, and yet last week, I had some deliveries done there, and the majority was through Prime, which there's not a way to be able to do any tipping or anything, but with the other two or deliveries that I had done, I did throw some tips. Okay, it may not have been very much. One I did $3. The other, basically, it was her food that I had delivered, her wet food, from the pet store, and I still threw a couple bucks. I mean, it was very simple for them to be able to do, but I still threw a couple bucks. It's like no. stop, people. Stop making excuses. At least throw something. It's better than nothing, to help compensate, because 2, $3. I mean, like I said, would you work for that? Mm-hmm. For all the time that is spent with doing with taking care of it. Just look at your receipts. Look at where your money is actually going. Don't look at that final tally. Look at exactly where that money is going. You'll be shocked to see where it's actually going. And we don't see any of that money. Those government fees, the fees that are being paid to whatever company it is that you're ordering from, we don't see any of that money. All we ever see is the delivery fee. And even with the delivery fee, we are only getting a small percentage of that. So you might be paying, say for instance, $20 to have some food delivered. We're only seeing about $2, $3 of that. And that is not a lie. That is not an exaggeration. I can show you those receipts. I can show them to you. If you ever want to see them, I can show them to you. The breakdowns, the fair breakdowns of what it is that we actually receive. Okay? So, but anyway, I just had to get that off my chest. But all in all, yeah, as you can tell, I'm feeling better. Going back out tonight, and it isn't because I have to, I want to. My goal for myself this year, I just turned 50. I've been through a lot, and of course it's taken its toll on my finances and everything. Yeah, she's still here, getting her belly rubbed. I'll leave her be with showing. Well, maybe. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Oh, sorry. I know. But yeah, she is. I know she's so precious. She's such a precious girl. From my angle, you can actually see her mouth hanging open a little bit and her little twofers. But anyway, so, but no, my goal for myself this year is to get myself straightened around. I'm determined. I am determined. It's like, I know I can do this, especially now that I'm finally getting the help that I have been needing and so on and so forth. But yeah, I am going to talk to him. I see the pulmonologist next week. I am definitely going to talk to him about this menstrual cramping thing. I, because I still I'm doing some spot bleeding and so forth also, and it's like, no, I can't deal with this. I don't know if there might be another one that might be out there, but yeah, we'll see. And like I said, this weekend we have another one. It's going to be some more high winds, so I might have to double up on the dosage that I have on there for myself. I'm supposed to be doing 2 puffs in the morning and 2 puffs in the evening, but it's too much. So I've been doing 1 puff when I get home from work, and if I need to, like the other night, I'll do an extra puff. But otherwise, and I'm definitely going to have to see about researching some other sort of allergy medicine. I don't want to be taking that all the time. I just wanted something where I can just have it on hand for when I have the flare ups. I have taken Claritin in the past, but it hasn't really helped all that much. I think I have one left. I might try that, depending on what sort of weather that we do actually get in this weekend. I might try it and see if it might work now that I'm also doing the inhaler, because the other, it definitely is causing side effects. I think my body got sensitive to it after being on that, and then the other doctor that I was started seeing. Anyway, another story. Those of you who have been following know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's I was on a prescription, basically a prescription of Flonase, and for basically nasal spray. And I know that was the biggest culprit with the allergy situation, and I think it wound up making my body sensitive to the other that I was on. That's what I think. But I could be wrong. It could just be that my body is just doesn't like that one. So I might have to try another one, maybe Zyrtec or something. So we'll see. And like I said, I just want to have on hand for when we do have these situations happen with the weather, those sandstorms, those walls of sand and dust and so forth blow through. Yeah, that was rough. And we're expecting something similar this weekend, according to the National Weather Service. So at the local office, with what I saw. So, yeah, I'll see what happens. Like I said, I know I have a Claritin left. I'll see how I do with that and versus the other. I just got to find it. I think it's in that one box. That one or another one. I kind of had my bathroom stuff in two boxes. So, um, but otherwise, yeah, I've started buying for my Thanksgiving dinner. I know there's a couple things I have to buy early because they run out fast once we get closer to Thanksgiving. So, like I personally, as far as stuffing is concerned, I have had homemade in the past, with organic ingredients, this and that and everything. I just plain flat out don't like it. Plain and simple. I prefer stovetop turkey flavor, and unfortunately, stores they stockpile on the chicken flavor. I'm like, no, it's not the same. I know this. There's a difference. So, yeah, you'll find like those huge end caps of chicken stovetop flavored, stuffing, and it's like, or like Walmart when I was there last night, it was like they had huge center aisle thing, set up for the chicken flavor. And it's like, no, mm-mm. Went to the stuffing aisle, and they still had some turkey flavor. The single boxes. I don't want the twin pack. I just want the um, uh, single box. I love that one. That one's my favorite. That's another thing I need to make sure I get too. Some butter. I'm thinking of my grocery list, but I have already bought the gravy mix that I really, really like. And that's one I have to get early as well because I have a tendency to run out of my gravy mixes too. But the rest of the stuff I can get last minute because they're usually, yeah, stockpiled, that stuff, like potatoes, butter, things like that. But I'll pick up a little bit here and there. I use my own money for that. I'm not using the food stamps just yet. I did notice that Walmart has butter balls, $1.09 a pound. I don't know if this is nationwide, but I'm just talking about strictly here in Las Vegas, Nevada. There is a Las Vegas, New Mexico, so we have to stress that, differentiate that. But anyway, yeah, they're running $1.09 a pound. Butterballs tend to be the bigger turkey, so I might wind up getting one of those, and I want a big bird. I got freezer all to myself. I want to be able to stockpile that turkey meat for the winter. Jenny-O's are running 88 cents a pound, and I noticed that those ones are running really small, really, really small. So, like $15 birds only. So it's like, yeah, no, I want a big bird. So, and as we get closer to Thanksgiving too, I'll be bringing out the bigger birds, but we got a couple weeks yet for that. But I know next week, uh, no later than Saturday, Saturday, Sunday, I have to. Well, actually, by next Thursday, if I get a big bird, I'm gonna need by next Thursday. See about getting one so I can throw it in the fridge to start defrosting. Uh, um, but yeah, definitely no later than Saturday. I do know how to defrost one if I need to, uh, outside of, yeah, I have done that in the past. Taken my uh, big stock pot basically that I have and fill it with water and dumping my bird in there. So if push comes to shove, I can see about doing that, but I don't want to. So yeah, I'll have to make sure I get my bird by next Thursday if I'm going to get a big bird. And I plan on using Walmart has definitely been throwing out those surveys for all of us Walmart Plus um, members to be able to get points, and I've been hitting them as soon as I see one come in through my email. I'm hitting it. Yeah, because I think I've got $30 stocked up um, for in points so I can get a free bird, or as close to a free bird as possible. And I still have my food stamps too. I've been saving those, but I'm gonna have to use some of them today, so I can get a little bit of groceries. I've been trying to eat as cheaply as I possibly can. I usually do during this month anyway, so I can save my money for the big meal. Yeah. I haven't decided if I'm going to make bread yet this year or not. I usually do, but I don't know. I'll see how I feel as we get closer. I haven't decided on a dessert yet. I'm just like, I don't know. I have to see as we get closer. I would love to be able to make my grandmother's sweetheart salad, but I'll have to see what happens because it can be a little bit on the expensive side to make. So, yeah. And I pretty much need everything. I don't even have any of the Knox gelatin. I don't think I have any of the Knox gelatin even that the recipe calls for. So we'll see. I know, gearing up, but it's okay. If need be, I'll just save it for Christmas. I'm not worried about it. But anywho, I do need to go and get down to the store so I can get some stuff to do some cooking. I am just, yeah, I know it's been an emotional roller coaster with everything, but it's understandable with what I've been going through, with the health issues and so forth. But I'm getting there. That's part of the reason for these videos, so I can have an outlet to be able to talk about things, and in the process, if I can, help somebody even that much better. Yeah, that's the way I look at it. So, oh, that was the thing too that happened with me last night. I almost forgot to mention it. It has a good ending. Um, a little bit of a rant at first, so bear with me. I got a request to do a delivery. It was a gated community, and guess who didn't put any of the info in the instructions or anything? No gate code or anything. I sent a text message, you know, gate code question mark. Tried calling a couple of times, no answer. And finally, I got on the phone. I didn't spend much time on it because it was they were paying me very much anyway. And excuse me. And I got on the phone to customer service. They tried reaching out, no answer, so they canceled it. And unfortunately, no compensation, even for showing up. It's like, oh, well, this sucks. So, yeah, don't think that just because we run into situations like that we're getting compensated. It's not with ride sharing, like with ride sharing, where you get compensated if you wait a certain amount of time. It's not the same. Unfortunately, when it comes to the deliveries, it's very hit and miss, and it's not automatic. You have to actually get in contact with customer service, and unfortunately, no compensation. And that was one where I was driving all over Tarnation to do these deliveries, and I mean I had to drive clear across town to pick it up, and then in the end, with that leg, I didn't get compensated for it. Actually, I think it was a single delivery even. So that stings, because all that time, all that energy, all of that money, with gas and wear and tear in the car and everything, gone, you know, and it's not right. But anyway, what I wound up doing with the food, it was food and drink. It was a combo meal. What I did in the end is I took it over here, stopped off at this one street that's right around the corner for me. There's been a lot of homeless encampments, and I was shocked to see I did not see them out there, but there was some stragglers, and there was this older lady who was there, and I'm like, hey, you want a free meal? It's a delivery I couldn't complete or whatever. She's like, sure, and she's an old lady, living out there on the streets and everything, and it pisses me off um, these governments, these local governments passing these resolutions to fine and or um, give jail time to these people. It's like that's not right. That's is not right. I'm sorry. That's cruel and unusual punishment, and unfortunately, the Supreme Court, the U.S. Supreme Court, has ruled that no, it's not, and that's bullshit. I'm sorry. There are people out here, families out here with kids, young kids, who are being forced to live on the streets because of circumstances that they're in. Have some compassion. Have some empathy, people. Walk a mile in their shoes, just a few steps in their shoes, and then come back and tell me, oh, go out and get a job, get a better paying job. You know what I say? Fuck you. So if I can help out, I'm going to. Love you guys. Told you. The rants today. Talk to y'all later.